Jason's putting some blocks out. And we are crossing our fingers. Hope that it works.
Yep. That's what we're doing. That's all we got. So we're going to do the crossing finger thing, baby. Need to make sure that we don't go off the end of the blocks, because I tried to do it without you earlier. I'm like, I don't need Jen to do this, and I drove off the end of the blocks. All right, baby. Keep me from doing something stupid.
Good job, baby. Yeah, you're good. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, sweetheart. She's really getting the hang of this RV life.
Yeah, it because of the slipping first gear, I have to like kind of like back off and then bounce it up on them now. We used to make it without that, but
We pray that the jacks work.
yeah, we do.
So, Jason put the jacks down, so far so good. Now we need to try the slide, and if that works, we're at least a-okay with the hydraulic system. So we just evened out the hydraulic. Jason, because it's dark, he's gonna go look underneath with a flashlight to make sure that they're okay, and then we'll try the slide.
Can you give me the flashlight?
So the slide is back out. I have some cleaning to do for sure. I guess when the RV fell off its jacks, this table broke. Jason thinks he put it back together. So it did fall pretty hard. Yeah, and everything is just kind of in disarray. But we'll get things back to normal. So Jason thought it would be a good idea to have a little karaoke party with Aja, if I can get the place all cleaned up. But then again, they've all went to go do all-you-can-eat shrimp at the Red Lobster, so I don't know if they're going to be up for it. I think they're going to be pretty comatose, but we'll see.
So I don't know if you can tell or not, but we're all comfortable again. We have the slide out, and we have the footrests up, and we're watching Netflix. Waiting for, oh, and the table's put back together. Show the table. I fixed it.
Jason fixed my table.
I fixed the table.
Jason is amazing.
That's right.
I am. No matter what
you
happens,
heard her say that, okay? She said, I am amazing. We just got a call from Aja and Jeff. They just finished eating shrimp at Red Lobster, and they're all heading back, and we're doing karaoke.
It's a way for us to de-stress.
Whenever Jen and I first started dating, and her sister was a karaoke jockey, so she did basically DJing with karaoke, and of course we'd go and see her, and we'd end up singing, and I hated it. I was like, oh my god, in front of all these drunk people in public, I do not want to sing. So I set up our place so that we had karaoke at our home. And I'm like, see, look, we have all this cool karaoke stuff. We don't have to do it in front of strangers anymore. So we got in the habit of doing karaoke for parties and stuff. People would come over and we would karaoke. And then we met Aja, and she loves karaoke too. Yeah, I mean, I definitely need to de-stress her because, God, today has been horrible. But so far, I mean, we came out of it okay, really. It could have been so much worse. So.
Right, I think we were very lucky, and I think my lucky stars nothing happened that would have harmed you.
Yeah, because it was really easy. I mean, it fell off the jacks. I was under there like a few minutes before that. So stressful stuff. We're gonna sing. It's gonna be great.
Right. Well, it makes like the times of celebration even more special because things like we could be having such a worse time right now. We're very lucky that.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking
nothing is really severely damaged. Everything is manageable.
Yeah, I was under the RV with a shovel digging out the jacks. I was like, these people say they're not even going to help. So the truck company was like, yeah, we'll look at it, but, you know, we may not help.
We were feeling really kind of
so I was under there
about things.
digging the jacks out, and I was like, man, you know, and every day for the next week is going to be heavy rains. And they barely got rain here, but where we were, we had torrential downpours. And it's going to be that way all night, all day. Like, well, we're just going to live here, I guess. At a 45-degree angle, like the fun house at Knott's Berry Farm.
But now we're safe and sound at Aja's. We've got friends around, and oh gosh, when they came and checked on us, Aja and Jeff came down to make sure that we were okay. And
then Terry and Scott and Bruce and Jimmy.
Aja brought a jack for us.
Yeah.
And then Scott and Terry came down, but there's not much that they can do. This is
Scott just gave me a big hug and he was like, "You got this, bro." I was like, "Thanks, man. If you're saying it, I'm gonna be okay."
Right. We have really great friends. You know, if they had it in their means, they would have got us out of that mess. But I think
there's really nothing they could have done.
Right. But I mean, all around, I think I'm coming out at the end of this day. I feel grateful for things.
Absolutely. Me too.
How about you?
Even Winter's grateful.
Right. She was stressed too because
she was stressed, and then we put the slide out, put her footrest up so that she has her space, put her bed back under it, and she doesn't cry anymore now.
Right. She's happy now that things are back to normal. And plus, you know, animals, they pick up on our stress. So she was stressed because of us as well. So
yeah.
But thank you all for watching. We might give you a little peek if karaoke does happen tonight.
Yeah, and if you ever do get a flat tire and you're in a hurry to beat a storm and you skip a step, don't skip a step.
Right. This is our warning to you.
Yeah, I did all the safety stuff, but I should have put it on boards, and then it wouldn't have sank into the mud, and this wouldn't have happened. And we wouldn't have been there for 5 hours. We would have only been there for 2.
Right. So there's an absolutely beautiful rainbow. Look at that. It's a double rainbow all the way. But wow, that is beautiful.
All right, so we're back at the property, and everything actually looks pretty good on this, except for the steps got bent a little bit because the tire was leaning against them whenever the RV rolled. So the tire hit the steps, the tire that I had taken off, and bent them. Bruce, one of our friends that I've probably mentioned a few times that you've seen around maybe, he had these steps. I think they're called quickie steps or something like that on one of his rigs, and he says that once bent, they are nearly impossible to unbend. But they still work. They just bind a little bit whenever they retract all the way. This is the tire that blew. We were alerted pretty much immediately whenever it blew by our tire pressure monitoring system. This is where it blew out, right here. It didn't really get shown very well in the video, but just real strange that just right here it failed. So whenever we got back, I checked everything. I put the jacks down and checked all the hoses before I raised it up, and everything looked like they were okay. These kickdown jacks, I believe this is the hose, pivots in either direction, that it doesn't really flex the hose much. Whenever the RV fell, these little pads right here is what I was relying on, which was stupid. I mean, I know it was stupid, but I had gotten away with it in the past, so I figured I'd get lucky again. You can never really count on luck forever, though. So this little area right here is what was on the ground, and whenever the ground got soft with the rain, it started to roll in one way or the other, because with no e-brake, all you can do really is chock the wheels. But both the jacks seem like they're okay. The tag axle here, whenever the RV fell, this collapsed up, and it has shock absorbers, and there are bumpers, jounce bumpers, built into these airbags. These airbags are dedicated to the tag axle, and then it has two more up there for the drive axle. So it collapsed against the jounce bumpers, and it didn't contact the frame. It's all designed really well. If the tire would have lost pressure, it would have collapsed and hit these body lines right here. There was a box that I had taken out to set right here out of the rain, and that collapsed up against this, but again, because it was plastic, it really just pushed it into the ground a little bit and maybe smushed it a little bit, did not damage the storage compartment. You may have heard me referencing this in the video. This must have come off sometime during our travels, which was probably the noise that I was hearing back here now and then. You can see here the damage that we did get. Whenever the RV fell, this is the disc brake back plate, and I knew that that was going to be trashed, because so it's got mud in it and needs to be straightened out. I probably won't do that here. I'll probably bend it out of the way a little bit, maybe with a crowbar or something, and then whenever we get back to Tennessee. You may or may not be able to tell on here, but the way that the steps used to go is straight down from here. So you can see that as it rolled back and pushed that tire, it bent everything. So even though they still work, I need to see what I can do. Maybe heat it up with a torch. The real problem that I have right now is that the emergency brake has, or the parking brake has ceased to function. Since I'm going to take the transmission out and rebuild it anyway, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this too at the same time. It's always been my plan to fix it. It's just, you know, it's expensive and it's hard, and I don't know, I just never did it, so really regretting that now. I should also mention that the transmission, yeah, it's been having problems, so we're going to rebuild that. There's lots of information online about how to do it yourself, and I'm pretty handy. It's actually not that hard if you know what you're doing. And even though I don't know what I'm doing, there's video series and stuff that they know what they're doing. So lots of people have done it, and you know, I mean, I could pay that shop, I think it's Kermit's and Kingman, they wanted $6,500 to put a reman transmission in this. I could rebuild this myself, and the parts kit for it to replace all of the frictions is $850, and it's supposed to only take, like, I want to say 12 man hours to do if you're just following the videos. So 12 of my hours tinkering around in my basement at home versus $6,500. So the rest of my plan on that is to put what's called a Banks power pack on the RV. But the parts cost, I want to say they're $2,400 for the Banks kit, the power pack kit. That comes with a new intake, new exhaust, like complete new exhaust. It's like all this will be like, I think it's 50% larger, maybe even twice as large for all the exhaust. It comes with new cats, it comes with new mufflers, it comes with new everything. And also, yeah, headers, which I think they call like power tubes or something weird like that. But yeah, new headers, new exhaust, new intake. So that is supposed to, let's say it's supposed to add 100 horsepower. I'll have to look. But from what I've read, people that have put that on these old 460, Ford 460 based RVs, say that hills that they used to climb at like 20 miles an hour, they're going up at like 50 miles an hour. They say it just completely transforms the RV. So if I can stay out of first and second gear climbing hills and stuff, if I've got more horsepower and I can do it, then I think the transmission will last, like, you know, I mean, it lasted about 70,000 miles this time. Next time it should last even longer. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, whenever we got this, it had an exhaust leak on the passenger side manifold, which it's almost ubiquitous with these. They all have exhaust leaks because the manifolds warp over time, and it's just always been there. And there's not really a way to fix it unless you replace the manifold. But with the Banks Power Pack, it comes with headers, so we won't have an exhaust leak anymore. I also wanted to explain my logic behind rebuilding the transmission myself, as opposed to going and having the cheapest transmission that I could find put in it. So one of our friends said that he had a transmission put in his RV for, I think he said $1,500, something like that, $1,200 or $1,500, and he put a new transmission in his RV, or a remanufactured one. You could probably find cheap transmissions out there that somebody rebuilt, you know, and then, you know, have somebody else put it in, but you don't know what kind of a job they're going to do. We've had work done before where, you know, they just didn't do the greatest job on our car. You know, they don't care about your car usually. Not saying that all mechanics are bad. They're not. They're totally great mechanics, but transmissions are complex, and it's like the lifeblood of our RV because it weighs so much. So if we put a $1,200 transmission in our rig and then get out to the middle of nowhere, you know, maybe we're traveling and we're just between cities or something, and that transmission blows up on us, I mean, we have no recourse. As soon as you get away from that shop, usually they have a local warranty that is just for their shop. So we would be stuck on the road with a blown transmission, and I don't want that. So I figure that if I learn how to do it and do it myself, that I know what's in there and I care about my RV, so I will make sure that it has good parts in it and that it's done right, as opposed to having just anybody do it that, you know, they know that you're going to walk out that door and you're going to be gone. So they may give you a transmission that's only half rebuilt, or, you know, maybe they just didn't do it right. There's so many things that can go wrong in this transmission. And E4OD has been used since the early 90s, and it's reconfigurable in like an infinite amount of ways. There are all kinds of stuff in there, little rubber check balls and stuff, and different like adapter plates where they can build that transmission just about any way they want to. And there's different clutch packs, different amount of splines and teeth that they can use. So maybe they put a transmission that's built from like built for a F-250 in your 20,000 pound RV. Yeah, there's just too many variables. So if I do it, I'm going to do it right. And also, part of the reason why Kermit's was so expensive is that they were using Jasper. They were going to use a Jasper transmission. Jasper transmissions are pretty good. You know, it would be a transmission built for a heavy vehicle like ours, and it would have a coast-to-coast warranty. But as soon as that transmission goes in something that weighs 20,000 pounds, I think it's like a 3-year warranty goes down to a 1-year warranty. So again, I mean, you know, I'm going to get a good transmission and have it put in by a shop that probably like tripled the install price because it's an RV. And I mean, it's still something that I paid a lot of money for. I mean, $6,500, that's crazy. If I do it myself, I can do that transmission and put a bank system on the RV, which I probably wouldn't spring for normally. But if I'm going to save, like, you know, let's say that I rebuild the transmission and a couple of other major parts in there, the fluid pump or something maybe is bad, and I have to replace that. So even though the parts kit's like $850 or so for frictions, let's say that I have to buy some other parts and it goes up to like $1,800, I still saved like $4,000 and some change. So I can afford to put that bank system in the rig.